This Roco model is a second-hand purchase I made recently. It's catalogue number 63952 and it represents a DB Cargo Class 295. It's got the running number 100-2 and you will see here it's got NEM 652, which is an 8-pin socket. It's got no digital control on this one from the factory, but you can fit a digital chip to it if you want. I'm not 100% sure when this model was produced, but I think it's sometime around about 2002 to around about 2006, in that kind of time frame when they were doing the 8-pin decoders. So it's a continuation of Roco's long-running V90 and BR290, 295 tooling. And this particular one apparently has improved drive. It's got NEM coupling pockets and it's also got obviously the DCC socket. So in real life, the Class 295, well, like I mentioned, it was a development of the V90 and the Class 290. It was developed in the 1960s with many of them being built between 64 and 74. And it was a powerful shunter and, heavy freight locomotive for short distances. They were predominantly used by the Deutsche Bahn, and these Class 295s were a kind of evolution of the 290 because they were fitted with radio equipment to allow an operator to run it from the ground, not actually inside the locomotive, and there was some minor technical updates and kind of some safety improvements as well. So it's definitely going to be a handy locomotive to have on your layout, but is this one any good? Let's open it up and check it out, and at the end of the video I'll tell you how much it cost. This model comes with the exploded parts list here. It's a leaflet that shows all the pieces that make up this model, and it continues over to the other side and it has all the part numbers as well in case you need to order anything else up. You can see this says about AC here as well, and there's this like a third rail skid, so I guess you can set this up for AC operation if you want. And we also have an instruction sheet as well, and it details things like how to take the motor apart and change pieces if you need to, and it's also got details here about the traction tyres and the third rail pickup. And here we see some details about how to fit a DCC chip if you want, and this is some lubrication information as well, I think at the back here as well. It's in a number of different languages, so quite an extensive leaflet. And here is the model. First impressions, well, it's very bright and it kind of looks a bit kind of cheap, like it's from maybe a budget range. Let's have a closer look at it. So one thing that impresses straight away is the printing on this. It's very clear. The white has been done very well. You can see at the front here with a number and a DB logo and the stripe. It looks as though we've got some illumination up here on this third lamp, but there's obviously no illumination down here. These are just molded into the piece of plastic at the front here and they don't have any LEDs or anything like that. You can also see that this wobbles quite a lot. I guess it's designed to take a few bashes because, it's quite pliable. And I've seen that on a number of different locomotives these days and rolling stock as well, which has, kind of bendable plastic where you're likely to get a few hits, which I think is probably a good idea, but sometimes it does bend a little. Like you can see this bar here is just a little bit bent down. The buffers here are extra pieces which have been pushed into the chassis, so they're just a push fit like that, which is good if you need to replace them. And we have the coupling hanging out the front here. We'll have a look at that in a minute, but if we look at the body, it's actually a bit strange because it has this little black part down at the bottom, which looks as though the body's actually sitting up proud from the chassis, but I think that is actually by design. The grills here are, well, they're there, but they're not super detailed. Got some rivet detail on them though, and the DB Cargo is actually nicely printed, but we can see that the things like the door and the handrails and the other hatches down here, they're not super defined. It does actually look as though this body is lifted off a little bit. I think it's had a bit of a bash when it came to me, and also the roof comes off quite easily as well. It just pops off, so I think this is all just a clip fit. Let's see if we can get this off and have a look at what we've got here. Well, it just spins around like that, but there's nothing to see up there. And also, actually, you can see inside we've got a circuit as well, so there's no interior detail on this model. I'll just put this back and press it down. Hopefully it'll stay there. But the windows are very clear and obviously they're flush fit, and we've got some windscreen wipers molded in on the front and this bar on the side as well. Even the door's got glazing on it, which looks really good. And then we've got some more windows here at this end. We've got, I think that's maybe a horn up there. This will be the radio equipment that I mentioned earlier in the intro. And these are extra parts that have been added in. We've got another grill up here. Just jumping back, actually, we've got a big fan grill there, but you can't actually see anything inside. And a couple of exhaust pipes, I think they are there. I mean, it's nice that they're there, but I think they probably could have done a little bit better on making them look a bit more realistic. So at this end, we've got some more grills down here and another one of these at the front. This one has actually popped out here. This just slots into that hole there. I'll fix that in a minute with some tweezers. It does look as though we should have something sitting in this part here. There's one of these on each corner of the model, And we also have this hole here, so it looks as though maybe there should be some extra handrails which are missing off this model, unfortunately. Down this side, it's pretty much exactly the same as the side we've just seen. So looking further down then, we've got some more printing on the grey area. I do like the little studs on here on the walkway, which look really good. And then we've got a very plain fuel tank. This is actually made of metal, it's part of the chassis. I don't know why it says 53 or 35 or whatever it is underneath there, or maybe that's actually £5. Anyway, that's not what I paid for this model. I wish it was. On the bottom of the bogies you can see made in Austria, and I think we've got all-wheel drive here. Yeah, we do, and we seem to only have traction tyres on the end here, and it also looks as though they all pick up as well. And the couplings are indeed in NEM pockets, and they do articulate separate to the bogies, but they are fixed onto it. The side of the bogies are not too bad, a bit plain, but they do have some really good spring detail up here. And we've got things like that, which looks like a sander pipe. And there is a fair degree of detail on here, but it's not a huge amount. We've got some holes there. Maybe something was meant to fit into there. I'm not quite sure. Anyway, it's not a bad looking model overall. And I do like the printing on it, and the colour is actually quite good. And the finish is not bad at all. But it does feel a bit cheap, and also maybe like I'm kind of missing some parts too. Anyway, let's put this on the scales before we give it a run. So this model comes in at 263 grams. So before we check out how it runs, I was kind of interested to see what it's like inside. There is a screw here, which I think is just the only thing that's holding this together. So let's get that unscrewed and then we'll check out what we've got inside here. Okay, I was actually wrong about that screw. That just holds the big can motor into the chassis. This actually just unclips and came away, no problem at all. Under here you can see that we've got this part here in black and this part here in a lighter colour. Looks like maybe cream that's been painted, and the cab piece is an extra piece on top of that, so it looks like it's a multi-piece moulding under here. And I'm guessing the black here is to stop any light coming from the light bulb that's bleeding out. It should just go through the little hole there. And if I look at the chassis, we do indeed have little bulbs here which illuminates each of those top lights. This here is where you fit the chip if you want to, and it looks as though you're meant to just stick it on top of the motor somewhere when you isolate it. So it's a bit crude, I think, but at least it's easily got at. Well, I know it's not much of a test track, it's all the space I've got at the moment. Anyway, this is some Hornby track, it's quite old actually, and I'm using my H&M controller to give it 12 volts DC, so let's give it some power and see what happens. Well, to begin with there, I didn't actually think it was going to go because it was a bit stuttery, but with a bit of a push and a bit of back and forward, and it seems to be working fine, and it actually runs really well. It's got a really strange kind of whistling sound as well. It's almost like it's got sound on it, but not quite. I kind of like it actually. So Roco's model of the Class 295 in the DB cargo livery, well, I actually think I'm kind of got mixed feelings about it. It runs absolutely superb, well, once it got going. And I think with that big can motor in the middle, it'll be able to pull whatever it needs to pull. And also a very nice crawl as well. It doesn't have any flywheels on this as far as I could see, but yet it still manages to keep going at a very slow pace, which is fantastic. But I think where this model's being let down a little bit is just the overall feel. It kind of has this kind of cheap feel to it. And I know this model, you know, is around about 20 years old, but I think it's probably been made to a budget. But you certainly can't fault things like the finish of the plastics and the mechanism inside it. So it will run really good. And I actually quite like things like the kind of flexible front with the railings on this model, because, you know, that's where it's going to take the bashes if you're not too careful. I feel as though I'm missing some parts on this, like the handrails down the side of the bonnets, and also there should be little handrails in these slots here. If I just put a picture of the real one up on screen, you can see them here. And maybe they were meant to have come with this model in a spares bag. They're certainly being shown on the instruction sheet, but they're not with this model, but it is second-hand. However, I did look up the internet and there's a lot of photos of this particular model and none of them have that handrail in or the handrails down the side of the bonnet. So maybe it was an optional extra or only came with a certain type of this model. But you know, it's an easy remedy. You can just make those, I guess, or perhaps contact Roco and you might be able to get these handrails if you wanted to add it onto this model. So it does feel like a bit of a budget model, but that brings me on to the price, and I think I got this for a steal because it just cost me £30, which I'm quite amazed about. I've seen some of them on eBay for around about £90, maybe a bit more than that, and I think that's probably a bit too much because I think this is kind of like a budget model, and there are definitely better renditions of the V90, 290, 295 that you could probably go for from different manufacturers rather than this one. But it is a solid enough model. I think it'll have no problems running as well. So if you're just looking for a kind of basic shunting or freight train locomotive that'll do Stirling work on your layout, then this is it. But it's definitely not a kind of show model. But that's just what I think. What do you think about this model? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know your thoughts. And if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It really helps this channel. So I'll put this on the turntable and you can see all the way around. And that's it for this one. Thanks for checking out this Loco with me, and I'll see you on the next one.
So model train, model works, choo choo, model trains, tiny trains.